Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is, wherever you are. Welcome on in to Link to the Past League action here in the Open League. It is the Eastern Palace Division Independent Conference. We have Team Pixelgrinders, namefaker running, piloted by FaZe, versus Team Swordbeam Club, SEJay, piloted by Irritable Penguin. I am one of your co-commentators for today, Westside Vandal. Joining me in the booth is Dapper Wormman.
Hello, hello, hello. I am ready for some great rando action today. This this mode is going to come fast and furious with the pilot having the spoiler log, telling the runners just where to go. It's going to be very exciting.
Indeed. On tracking, which is a slightly easier job than it normally is because of that spoiler log, but still very, very mentally engaging. Yoinker's wife on tracking, so thank you to her for the tracking today. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. It's for positioning in the Eastern Palace division here. Pixelgrinders with 12 points will go up into a tie for second place with a win. Swordbeam Club will join the melee at third place and 12 points with a win of their own. So see what happens here today.
Yeah, I would say both teams definitely need a win to be in the running to be in that top two positions to move on to the postseason. There's In Rod We Trust is in first place right now, but they have played a game this week, whereas both these teams have not. They've got one game today, and then their matchup number 2 of the week is tomorrow morning. So, both teams hoping for at least one victory coming out of these next 2 games.
Indeed. All right. So, tale of the runners here right now. Namefaker is 1-1 on the year so far. Had a win with teammate Smarth in week 1, all dungeons co-op, and lost versus Shiva Haze in week 2, the faux all dungeons key sanity mode with the castle tower keys in their vanilla locations. And then SEJay is 3-0. Participated in both AD keys co-op week 1 and won versus Dark Diplomat in week 2. We are underway.
Yeah, interesting. Both of these runners did not play in casual boots, which was last week, so see if they're a little bit rusty. But getting bombs and just immediately saving and quitting there. Do you want to check this? Interesting that both of them got started at Link's house and got bombs,
Yeah.
and neither of them went to Uncle.
Yeah, I'm also a little bit surprised. Oh, Jay is just going to bush farm for more bombs. One more bomb. Interesting. And here in the first couple minutes or so of the race, it's just kind of the runner's prerogative to do whatever they want to start off with, as the pilot just gets the spoiler log and starts reading as fast as possible.
Yeah, this mode, the spoiler shows up right at 0 when the race starts, so there's no preparation phase. It's just sort of open up a bunch of chests. Oh, we're getting a Hyrule Castle key in the back of the tavern. That might be, it's kind of
Yeah,
interesting. Usually not needed, but if there's something buried in the back of Escape and we don't have a glove to get that, we might need that.
yeah. Could very well be the glove for all we know. Oh boy, big key and boots in Kakariko Well. All right then, big key to
All
Dark
right,
Palace.
I like it. And in the meantime, since we're not going to be getting map checks or checking medallions, we do need Quake for both of our medallions to open Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. And it looks like our pendants are Thieves Town, Swamp Palace, and Misery Mire. So hopefully we're not dipping into those, but we might have to since this is
Yeah.
Key Sanity.
Yep. All right. So immediately to Bonk Rocks for our lamp. So yeah, that's a very important early boots there. I mean, it's boots are always important, especially early anyway, but when something as big as lamp is hiding there,
Yeah, that's I mean, always a nice thing to pick up. It's obviously really convenient right there. So namefaker did not go into Blind's Hut and also did not pick up that Hyrule Castle key. So maybe just a little bit of, let's just be thorough. Let's pick this up in case we need it on CJ's side. And then looking to farm some money there for maybe a bottle merchant purchase.
Yeah. Could be bottle merchant. Could just be wanting to have some extra rupees on hand for something. I mean, you need a bit more before Houlihan would become an option for Zora, at the very least. But
Yeah, in an ideal world, you only need about 110 to get into pod, but it's always nice to have some more to pick up some potions or something like that. So CJ got to pick up his lamp as namefaker is using bomb strats here in Mini Moldorm Cave.
yeah,
Takes a little bit of practice.
and a little bit of luck for the Moldorms to do well what they just did, and just hang out around the bombs. All right, so Mini Moldorm gonna have our first glove. Gonna have blue mail.
And that's a small key to Turtle Rock. Gonna need at least 2 or 3 of those to get through the dungeon.
Yep.
And of course, getting some arrows. Actually, not gonna save him quick. Gonna move on. Probably
I
going
would
to Ice
assume.
Rod Cave or something else.
Yep, I was about to say Ice Rod Cave. Although we did also skip. Well, looks like we're still skipping those. Swamp. Not swamp. Dam. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna see what that Hyrule Castle small key is worth to us, as CJ and Swordbeam Club heading into the back of Escape.
Yeah, I got to put that lamp into good use, and let's see if they
Dark
use some of these
Cross
bombs to kill.
is a sword.
All right, that's nice. That'll make escape easy. So I guess he's not going to use that Hyrule Castle key to go continue on to the back of escape. He'll just use the glove, or maybe there's nothing back there.
Yeah, like you said earlier, could have just been a thoroughness play after seeing, oh hey, sword on Dark Cross. The camper has another sword for us.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You don't see usually 2 different runners getting 2 different first swords in the spoiler mode. Usually they're kind of hidden, and you get you get one of them, and everybody kind of gets the same number 1, 2, and 3, and maybe 4. But getting 2 different number 1 swords here.
And I answered this in chat, but I'll go ahead and answer it on air. The pilots for today's race, for Pixelgrinders, we have FaZe, and for Swordbeam Club, we have Irritable Penguin. All right. So Faker, yep. Well, actually, Faker is following CJ into the front of Escape here as well. We'll also be getting his Master Sword and the Cane of Samaria. Okay. I did not notice that on CJ's side, actually.
Yeah, he did get that, and then he did use that Hyrule Castle key to go through. Didn't have to kill the green guard and then kill the blue guard in the boomerang chest, but I think did a little double back. Maybe thought he might need that, but still didn't have to go into that room. So it's actually a time save by picking up that key in the back of tavern.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the Book of Medora. Uh-oh. What do we need that for? That would imply the tablets, I would assume.
Yeah, it could be tablets, and it could also be our logical access into Desert Palace.
This is also true.
We do have a glove, we do have a sword, we do have a fire source in that lamp, so we might be going in there, maybe if there's a vanilla big key or something like that.
And it looks like CJ is heading straight for that. Well, no, he's heading into the dam. Okay. So what's in here? Hook shot. Hello.
All right.
So
interesting.
now
We
the
didn't see
question.
namefaker get that.
I was about to say, I'm kind of surprised Namefaker didn't go for that while he was going for Mini Moldorm here.
I mean, to be fair, it is really hard to read the spoiler in the 5 seconds it's taking these runners to run down to these locations. Do I need this? Do I need that? They have boots. They're going really fast. Sometimes as a pilot, you like it when you see boots in GT or something. It gives you more time to be more efficient with telling your runner what to do. But I'm sure they will make their way back there eventually.
All right. So now, Faker heading back here to grab his Master Sword. And save and quit.
And SEJay gonna get his Master Sword in about maybe 20 seconds after he sets up this fake flipper,
Yeah.
jumping into the water and transitioning over to the next screen at the same time.
And, okay. Interesting by Faker here. Still avoiding that hook shot and our desert access, potentially, to head up to Saha's Closet in Eastern area. And apparently we are bypassing Saha's Closet, so something is in Eastern Palace that we need. Especially interesting because we have no way to clear Eastern right now at all. Like, we don't have the big key. So something must be in the front of Eastern Palace here. All right, so now Jay also going to be heading, I think this is going to be the desert area. I can't imagine anything else happening right now. There's our big key to Thieves. All right, then. In Eastern. Which, Thieves Town is a green pendant. Ooh, that implies we're going to be doing some pendant diving here. And here's where that hook shot would definitely come in handy. Being able to save a couple seconds and just hook shot directly across to this chest, which has yet another big key for desert. All right. Speaking of desert, we do see Jay in there now. We find the small key to Swamp. Oh, and the mirror in Eastern here. All right. Yep. All right. So now Jay got to be following our runners, kind of clearing each other's footsteps here. Jay heading to Eastern to pick up that mirror, and Namefaker heading to Desert. And yet again, Namefaker is just decidedly leaving that hook shot in the inside of the Hyrule Dam. I mean, chat asking if Namefaker can hover. I mean, that's kind of immaterial. That's a pretty free check. I don't know why exactly. Especially considering, I just realized, we have found the small key to Swamp Palace, and both runners have grabbed it, which implies we need to go into Swamp Palace for something as well. I'm sorry, was that a vanilla lift upgrade? Uh, uh. Oh, wait a minute. That's huge, actually. Chat pointing out a very good point. Namefaker, that was Moon Pearl on Desert Ledge. I missed that completely. And yeah, Swordbeam Club was unable to get those Titans. Uh, so that's going to be an interesting storyline moving forward here. Namefaker also going to be able to clear this.
Yeah, that Moon Pearl was pretty big. I apologize. I did not realize I was on mute the last few minutes. I am back.
All right, cool. That's all right. Happens to the best of us. Just ask my pilot for later today.
Yeah, I've been there.
At any rate, and CJ realizing the error here is heading back in the desert to get those Titans and clear the dungeon, I would assume.
Yeah, I was wondering if either of these runners would actually complete Desert because, we can, but we're on 3 hearts and Master Sword. It might be faster to come back later with Fire Rod or something, but getting a crystal down is always a good thing.
And nice use of the Canis Samaria here as well by Namefakers.
Yeah, that was really nice. Good use of knowledge there of what items do damage to the bosses.
And hey, a quarter of a heart for something you need to do anyway in spoiler mode, not gonna sneeze at that at all. All right. So yes, as chat pointing out, the fact that Swordbeam Club and SEJay had to come back into here and double dip for Titans when they really didn't have to, kind of flushes all the little optimizations they've done up to this point up down the drain.
Yeah, Pixelgrinders still do not have the hook shot. I suspect they're going to want that before they go up the mountain, considering the Hera pot glitch would make Tower of Hera fully completable at that point.
Oh, and we do go into back of escape there for some items. Nice.
Cape's a nice safety item. We know we're not going to need it for Aga, but it might be used for bumper ledge, but it is nice to have in any case.
And also 300 rupees. I mean, you're definitely gonna appreciate that if you find some bottles, or for example, if we do need Zora for some reason. So I do want to kind of reiterate, we have now seen our runners pick up items to go fairly deep into 2 pendant dungeons. And by fairly deep, I mean into Swamp at all, basically. And then the big key of Thebes. So that's starting to paint a bit of a picture here. Either we've got a lot of progression in pendant dungeons, or chat's favorite position in the entire game is going to come into play.
Yeah, we shall not speak of that until it is
a bit more
see it.
relevant. We do have flippers on C-shaped house, and Namefaker immediately heading into the green pendant dungeon, Thieves Town. So we'll see why we need that big key here shortly.
Yeah, the big key could be something just as simple as picking up blind cell or something like that, but that's still a really long way into a pendant dungeon that is just gonna add some more execution and all that, and just more room for error on both sides.
All right.
And basically, what, nothing in the front? Just
Yeah,
just running to the back with that big key.
We did see 1 Palace of Darkness small key out of the 3 or 4 we typically need to clear that dungeon. So
and still no hammer, and no, of course, bow to go in there and complete it. And that's always one of those crazy dungeons where do you need 1 or 2 keys, or do you need like 5 of them to get all the items locked behind all the keys? So always good to just pick one up if it's on the way. Really, just pick 2 or 3 up. We don't know.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Vortex of Doom in chat bringing up a very good point. Namefaker has the mirror equipped. So we are probably going to see a hasty retreat here. Yep, there it is, after the big key of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we could have beaten it at that point, so would have been that would have been the time to beat it. So it looks like we're not beating this pendant dungeon, and pedestal is probably off the table at this point.
Yep. All right, and we are completely bypassing the dig game and Cave 45 and Stumpy, so okay. That would seem to suggest that we also don't need. Oh, okay. Apparently, we do need Hype Cave. Also, an interesting skip by Pixelgrinders here. Probably some confidence in their boss fighting abilities, as a full heart container on Cave 45 that they just walked right by.
Yeah, a little time investment to get that. I think it's worth it, considering you're only on 3 hearts at this point. You're 18 minutes into the game. Yeah, and namefaker taking a little bit of the northern route, which is, I think, just a little bit safer. It might cost a few seconds, but that's the way I like to go sometimes. So
Okay,
I'm not going to throw it shade.
that's actually a good point. It is a bit safer, especially when we are only sitting on 3 hearts for namefaker. Now, granted, we do have blue mail.
Yeah, and looks like probably got to go back and use that shovel. Oh, definitely got to get the hook shot here. Oh, I actually kind of like this, using this, flooding the dam to get the hook shot on their way into Swamp Palace. That's kind
It's
of
about,
interesting.
yeah, that's actually some good routing there.
Hookshot might have saved some time in, maybe Mini Moldorm Cave or, like you said, Eastern Palace, but comboing this is always a runner's dream, so let's take it if we can get it.
And that shield will lie forgotten at the bottom of the Hyrule Reservoir forever. All right, so let's see what we needed in Swamp here.
So yeah,
That 20 rupees is going to be vitally important. Sorry.
probably just a little bit of muscle memory there. I think we've all done that.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
this is another pendant, so we can fully complete this one as well. We're just going to see how far we go. It could be as simple as, like, I was going to say that map chest right there, but it could also be compass chest, or it could be super deep, like on the boss.
So chat again with a good catch. Seems like Faker being a little bit less efficient with chests than Jay is, because we do see Faker pick up that shovel in Hype Cave and Jay skip it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that might just be, again, that might just be muscle memory, because Hype Cave is kind of one of those spots that you go, okay, 5 checks, boom, 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 as opposed to anything else.
Yeah, and the pilot might just be saying, just get everything. There's 3 or 4 items in there you're gonna need, and the shovel's a good safety item too, because if you run out of arrows or something on your way to GT, especially in a pilot spoiler where you're not getting every chest, digging for arrows or bombs at a key moment is, I really can't underestimate how important it is.
Namefaker living a little dangerously here on half a heart. But
Yeah, we
luckily
get a
there's a
couple
couple
here.
hearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily there's a couple hearts right here. Some rupees and a small one of our small keys to Turtle Rock. I believe that's our second out of the 3 we need.
And Namefaker making a liar out of both of us. Only getting one of those hearts in Diver Town Room.
And then flute in Waterfall Room, and see ya.
Yeah, and both runners getting that about the same time. Both leaving right away.
All right. So yeah, Namefaker showing some confidence in his damage dodging abilities here, opting to forgo a fairly. I mean, it's not the most convenient location in the world to be sure, but it was a pretty free, I would say, heart container. And then also just getting only 1 heart when you're down to half a heart on 3 hearts. So, all right, now we're heading right up to Catfish here.
Yeah, usually at about 21, 22 minutes, you're hopefully on 4 or 5 hearts, but Namefaker's still on just 3 hearts, which you start the game with.
Yep.
And I guess we're gonna get something in catfish. This isn't. This is always everyone's least favorite check in non-pilot mode, but we know what's here, and it's worth the trip.
All right. Well, we don't know what's here. We have not been looking at the logs, but yeah, the fact that both runners are going straight for it the second they get the pot. Yeah, that's the bow. Hello.
All right. Yeah, I'm not looking at the log either. I just am assuming there's something important here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, both both pilots are looking at the wrong log.
All right.
Yeah, the bow's important.
So another interesting point here. Namefaker has 441 rupees. Jay only has 176. Jay also mirroring to Zora's domain here with that just 176 rupees. That's a big key on Zora's ledge.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Who knows? Let's see. We're gonna see where that is. But that was definitely just a quick mirror away here there for Namefaker, as you see CJ doing.
Yeah.
So
So now the question becomes, is there something on the King of Scams here? And that's why Namefaker is hoarding rupees and has not gone back to Zora's domain yet.
yeah, that's a pretty good point. That's a big key to Misery Mire, so that's actually fully completable now once we find the Quake Medallion.
Yeah, and
But
also a point that that's our other pendant. So
yeah, I was
Gretchen in
just
all
gonna
three
say that.
pendant dungeons, but not a pedestal seed. That's just kind of rude.
Yeah, and not in like the front of Thieves Town or something. Namefaker, knowing what's inside, still peeking just to make sure. Nope, or just another muscle memory thing there. Not gonna need that, or possibly gonna get it right after Hera here. CJ finally picking up that 300. That's why Namefaker had such a rupee advantage, but
Yep.
CJ now with about 400 and something of his own.
And there's our book for a heart container on Ether.
That's worth it.
Yep. Also, might kind of explain why Faker didn't take the one on K45, because he knew he was going to have to be up here anyway with the book fairly early in the seed. So free blue goo, just sitting for the taking on floating islands. So that's nice. All right, so now I'm still just trying to puzzle out why Faker didn't head to Zora's domain while they were up there. I mean, even just being as like close on rupees as we were.
Yeah, I mean with flute and flippers, it's not super hard to get back to that. Obviously, going to be a little bit more of a time investment, but if there is something on Zora, comboing the two together is definitely going to be worth it. So we'll see if that ends up being true. Neither runner, let's see, CJ still has the beer, but he is going for Paradox Cave first, whereas Namefaker went up, got that heart, and is going to do Dark Death Mountain into Paradox area. Looks like CJ going for middle or lower, whatever it's called, the one with 5 chests.
All right. Used one as a hook shot thing. Thought about opening it, and then thought better of it. And then
And
pump the brakes again for a map. Oops.
another pod key, and both runners getting a bottle at about the same time, but different
Yep.
first bottles.
There's our Quake medallion. Somebody left the key to Turtle Rock under the doormat.
And CJ going out, now gonna go into the Dark World from down here. Doesn't need to use the Turtle Rock portal just yet.
All right. Yeah,
So these
so
runners
let's see. Go ahead.
These runners have pretty much been step for step, you know, maybe doing a little different order, but then being in desert, being in swamp, being in Thieves Town at about the same time. It's been very interesting to see them clearing the games basically the same way.
I would say though that I think efficiency wise, Swordbeam Club has the edge so far. We've seen Faker open a few more chests than necessary, and also going like peeking inside Spectacle Rock uh, when it's not apparently necessary. And
Yeah.
also, go ahead.
Just to answer a question in chat, do the runners have spoiler knowledge? The runners do not, but they do have a pilot, a teammate that is in voice chat with them that has the text of the spoiler, what each chest contains, and telling them where to go. Um, Vortex also pointing out in chat that SEJay has not been into Thieves Town, so I apologize for misremembering that.
Yep. I was about to point that out. I didn't catch you making an error. I just saw Vortex saying that and went, "Oh yeah, no, Jay has not been in there yet." Which that is important because that is our Turtle Rock big key. Yeah, we're gonna need that at some point. Meanwhile, though, both our runners pretty much in lockstep in Mire at the same time. But both runners having a bit of a slightly out of the way check to grab a required big key. Because actually, this is actually
Oh,
a good point. Yeah, I think, yep. The big key that's on Zora's ledge that I'm assuming Faker is going to go grab right now is to Misery Mire.
yeah. That might have been just a little miscommunication on, and also forgetting they had flippers. Okay, there you go. Just a little bit of miscommunication, but they did realize their mistake before too long.
Oh, wait a minute. Small key to thieves. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, so that
Why do we need
was
that?
that's very interesting. I mean, that could have been maybe muscle memory or just um, we actually do need that, and we're going to have to go back into Thieves Town. But also, as a reminder, this Mr. Meyer that we're in is also a pendant.
Yeah. Which that Thieves Town small key is also to a pendant dungeon. So if that
Yeah,
Thieves Town, and honestly, thinking about it, if that is something in Thieves Town, that would make sense why Jay has not gone there yet. Because Jay knew we need this small key to get to that big chest in Thieves Town. We're already going all the way to Attic Chest anyway. So we might as well just hold off until we can get the small key out of Mire and then go do Thieves.
yeah, that's definitely heads up routing there. We also get the bonus cutscene for everyone to enjoy. You thought we were gonna go
Yep.
fast, but we had to wait for that 15-second cutscene.
And it's not even interesting because you don't even see anything move. It's just the screen shaking for 15 seconds. At least in Palace of Darkness, you get to see the wall move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's 15, but it sure feels like at least that much.
But yeah, that's that mental error on the side of Pixelgrinders definitely gonna put Swordbeam Club back in control, and the rich get richer. There's silvers on the right side of Misery Mire here.
Yeah, I like that. So if there's something in the big chest here, CJ skipped it. It's a piece of heart, and that chest is not going to be available because we have those pegs up there. But I imagine Namefaker will come back and get those silvers definitely before the biddy fight.
And if I'm Namefaker as well, I feel like you just kind of have to take a deep breath right now and just go, just clear your mind, so to speak, because I can def- I can definitely kind of see the signs of maybe a little bit of tilt because of that Meyer error, the big key error. It kind of led to it just kind of another sort of small slip up with that peg error. So
Yeah, and I mean, mistakes happen at these seeds. Almost nobody runs these things perfectly, of course, but definitely At least they realized it then instead of like on their way to the back of the
Yeah,
room or something like that.
at, yeah. At least they basically only bonked across the entrance before they went. Wait a minute, hold on, we're missing something here.
And we are going to beat Vitreous. Those silver arrows are going to come in nice and handy as long as we only need to use 11 of them.
Oh, we're gonna need to be careful here as well, though, for Swordbeam Club because yeah, that's one heart left, and Vidi is rough even on blue mail, using the cape and the master sword to good effect here. Because Link to the Past is a very well-coded video game, as long as you're slashing away with the sword, the magic usage on the cape isn't as bad as it could be. It's a fire rod. Oh, disgusted.
All right. A lamp-locked fire rod.
Alrighty.
And yeah, that cape coming in nice and handy, as you were mentioning, when you are slashing your sword as fast as you can, it actually won't drain the magic, which is kind of nice, especially when you're on one heart and going to die from one hit. So now it looks like we're taking that fire rod and going right into Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Oh, a quick stop at the upgrade ferry. Okay, so SEJay using this money, making me think there is nothing on Zora.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of feel like namefaker at the point where they realized the error about the Zora key would have found some way to route, like, I think they were only like 20 rupees short. Would have found some way to find the rupees they needed. Oh, just like 1 pixel off on that placement there. That's painful. So yeah, chat still clinging. Chat still talking about Pedestal. We know for a fact Pedestal is dead because both our runners went all the way to Waterfall Cave and Swamp without killing the freely available Argus boss fight. We definitely would have seen that if we needed to go to the Pedestal today.
For sure.
Now, granted, again, at that point, both of our runners were like on 4 hearts blue mail with no potion backup. That's a pretty rugged fight, but you know, needing to go that far back into Swamp, I kind of figure you at least give it the good old college try while you're there, if you need to do it.
Oh, for sure. And Namefaker putting those silvers to great use, getting all
Yep.
9 before we get a lightning, and just 2 more shots with those silver arrows. Gonna pick up their fire rod.
Yeah, they Namefaker got a slightly kinder Vitreous fight there than Jay did. All right, we have seen pretty much all the chests get skipped so far, except for that one, which is our tempered sword.
That's a nice temper sword there.
Yep. That's definitely gonna be useful for the remainder of this seed. And I would assume we're gonna see Faker just head immediately. Yep, boot to 8. We're gonna see Faker right behind Jay here. All right, so now Pixelgrinders definitely looks like they're in catch-up mode at the moment. We'll see how long it takes Jay and Swordbeam Club to get over to that Thieves Town attic chest and whatever is waiting for us beyond that Thieves Town small key. Actually, come to think of it, I wasn't paying attention. Did we see Faker grab that Thieves Town small as well?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
As well as cutscene of Meyer, which was Eastern Big Key.
Yep.
Yep. Meanwhile, SEJay putting good use to that Swordbeam strat. When you do a fire rod shot and then do a Swordbeam, it does fire rod damage to the shell of Cold Stare. Who knew? Had a few more fire rod shots for the fight and did a great job there, killing down all 3 Cold Stare puffs.
So chat already on top of this, but I'll go ahead and answer this on air as well. Somebody asking, what's the C next to Faker's magic? That is the marking telling us that this is a crystal dungeon. That was added in the most recent patch to the randomizer. If you have the knowledge in game of what the dungeon is, it'll show up there, which is a nice little quality of life improvement for people who, say, maybe use extended MSU packs, or like me, play with background music entirely off and choose to play their own playlist. So you don't have to go, oh, hey, this is pendant or crystal music. You just kind of look up the top left and go, oh, hey, that's a C. Awesome.
Yeah, and I believe we are hearing the pendant music in here, but that is because it is key sanity mode, and in
Yep.
key sanity modes, the the music in the dungeon is randomized, so you can't get a clue from that. So a little, little different things pointing in different directions, but we do know it is a crystal based on the spoiler log and that C. That I really have liked that addition to the Link to the Past randomizer with telling you what it is, because I have definitely beaten a boss and gone, oh, that was a pendant?
Yeah. So yeah, we are definitely seeing the benefits of a good route optimization here, as Swordbeam Club is just continuing to open up a slight lead here, being most of the way into Palace of Darkness before Faker even kills Cold Stare here. Does corral Cold Stare into a corner and use the Tempered Sword. Nicely done.
Very nice fight.
And it looks like we don't really need a whole lot out of Palace of Darkness now that I realize it, because we only had like 2 small keys. We went immediately to the right side, picked up that heart container, and Jay is just heading straight back for Helmasar King. No mercy here being shown to Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, and what was in that chest? Was that a heart container on CJ's side?
It was a heart container, yes.
Yeah, so taking a little bit longer wait, but getting a heart container, probably worth it. Maybe they are watching the other team have a idea, think that they're in the lead a little bit. Um, but optimizing safety over, I mean, maybe the efficiency. I don't see a problem with that at all.
Ice Rod and GT Big K for go. Yeah, actually, I think that's correct. No, we need one more Turtle Rock small key. Actually, hold on. Pixelgrinders has 2 TR smalls. If I'm reading correctly, Swordbeam Club has 3. Where was that extra key at?
I do not recall, but that is very interesting. You need 3 to beat it with stealing the Poke Key. If you get all 4, you don't have to steal the Poke Key, assuming you don't need Lava Chest at all. So we'll see if Pixelgrinders can pick that 3rd key up, or maybe we just have a mismark on our tracker, although I doubt it.
Yeah, like your wife is a pretty good tracker, so I would tend to favor Swordbeam Club picked up a 3rd somewhere that we missed. Brewery was one, which we saw both of our runners get, I believe.
Meanwhile, another crystal clear on CJ's side. Namefaker not too far behind, making up a little bit of ground, I would say.
And remember, SEJay and Swordbeam Club have not gone into Thieves Town at all.
Right, so they have to go up to the attic to get the item up there, which was a big key to Turtle Rock.
And actually, yeah, that's also, again, Vortex of Doom just playing 3rd commentator from the chat here, basically. Namefaker did actually skip that full heart container, and that's why they made up so much ground, because they didn't go around. They just went straight through.
Yeah, it's definitely quicker to not go to the Bowlock side, which is why when you're trying to save keys in a non-spoiler mode, you just do not want to go back by Bowlock side as much as you can.
Yeah, with blue mail, this low heart number, not as scary as it could be. Oh, there's our Cannon's Tower big key in the big chest.
That's convenient.
Yep. All right. Pixelgrinders making quick work of Helmetsar King.
Yeah, and SEJay is almost back to the boss already at this point.
Yeah, Eastern goes pretty fast when you just need to take a straight shot back to the boss.
So I was wondering to myself about 20 minutes ago when both these runners were on the mountain why none of them even went into Hera, but it looks like they're going to get the illustrious Hera into GT mode here.
Yeah, that's always nice. So, yeah, Chad also kind of noodling out a few other things here. Uh, we do have both runners picking up the Thieves Town Small, which would assumedly mean the Thieves Town Big Chest has something for us, uh, which is a route optimization for Swordbeam Club, kind of, but all right. So let's
Yeah.
see here. Go
I
ahead.
mean, going through the front of Thieves Town twice with boots is pretty quick. I'm just trying to think. It's got to be faster than it's got to be faster to backtrack from the attic all the way to the basement than it is to go through harmless or harmful Hellway, the Hellway, and all that, and the front of Thieves Town. So we are going to see Swordbeam spend a little bit more time here in Thieves Town, but this is time. I think overall in this dip of Thieves Town that they're doing less time on.
Yep. All right. So they are in Thieves Town now. So we'll be seeing the fruits of their optimization here shortly. Meanwhile, namefaker heading back here to Armos Knights. All right, so we are looking for that ice rod at this point. We are also looking to see where Pixelgrinders is going to pick up that third Turtle Rock key. All right.
Yeah, so they are on their way. I saw somebody in chat pointing out that there was a TR key and brewery, maybe, so they might pick that up on their way into the Thieves Town here.
Yeah, well, I thought I saw Faker pick that up earlier, is the thing.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could just be conflating brewery and C-shaped house, because I definitely remember calling out C-shaped house. But at any rate, oh yeah, no, they did not go into brewery here, so they're gonna get that key. That's where the third key was. All right, good to know. Good to know. All right, Swordbeam Club. Meanwhile, heading down to that Thieves Town big chest. We'll see what's here.
Well, it's going to be something important.
Yep. Yeah. For it to be very well, I suppose we probably could have guessed that. That is the ice rod, and at 45 minutes and 50 seconds, Swordbeam Club and SEJay are in go mode. I don't know why I keep wanting to just say SE instead of C, but there we have it. Yeah.
Well, he could have capitalized that better, I guess, but
Well,
let's just thank God that this is a spoiler mode and not a normal key sanity mode with that
oh,
ice
oh,
rod.
oh, 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 buddy. But then again, I kind of feel like at this point you kind of play enough seeds that if you get a location that dirty for the Thieves Town Small, you're probably going, okay, cool. I guess I'm heading back to Thieves Town.
Yeah, that hammer was pretty buried behind Mit's access, so theoretically you could have said, I'm not going to complete the dungeon until I get the small key, because it's not in logic yet, but we all know the temptation to just get 3 items out of 4.
All right, and there's that ice rod for namefaker. And yep, Swordbeam Club with a pretty commanding lead at this point. Anything can happen, especially with kind of how relatively low we are health wise. But again, it is kind of blue mail, and uh, both runners showing pretty good acumen on being able to avoid damage.
Yeah, I mean, Ganon's tower is, full of enemies that hit hard. Ganon himself is going to do 4 hearts of damage with blue mail, so there could be a lot of room for error here. Um, would like to point out neither runner has gotten half magic yet, so that
Yep.
could be a little magic conservation here. I believe they both have 1 bottle. CJ using that fire rod on Moth and gets him down with one last swing of the sword.
All right. The map of Desert Palace. Nice. And Ganon does 6 on blue, and Firebats do 3. So,
Oh, my
yeah,
bad.
that's
So it's one-hit knockout there on Ganon. Sorry, I thought it was 4, but maybe that's why some of my runs come to a unintended end sometimes.
that also pointing out that Pixelgrinders did go ahead and pick up that second bottle from. Well, they picked it up from Floating Island, which CJ skipped. The other bottle, the common bottle to both of them, being in Paradox Cave. Mothula being a little less hospitable to Namefaker here. Gonna have to burn one of those potions. Yeah, really being a bit of a pain here is Mothula.
Yeah, staying
Again,
up there, that's not fun.
yeah. So Mothula, if Mothula, I believe it's if he ends his damage animation in a spike, he does not actually take damage. If I remember correctly. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because I usually am. But considering the room is like 25% spiked by volume, that can make the Mothula fight rather annoying if Mothula decides to hang out around spikes often.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe Namefaker takes a second to go get a potion refill, but I'd imagine they're looking and seeing they're a little bit behind and just running up to Turtle Rock. And remember, we still have Turtle Rock. We still have Tower of Hera, which can be pretty quick before we can even go into Ganon's Tower.
Yep. So just to point out, we've made mention a couple times of teams looking at the other runner. That is usually not allowed in most competitive play, but because of the nature of spoiler week, it is allowed for this week specifically. You can be looking at the other team's screen to kind of gauge where that team is and make routing decisions based off of that.
Yeah, and as a pilot, I'll have the other team up just as just kind of watching out of the corner of my eye. As a runner, I don't think I'd want to be having them up at all.
Nope.
And I'd just be asking the pilot, should I get this safety? Should I not? And just if they say yes or no, I sort of understand what that means. So
Yep.
we did find that Quake, which was our medallion for both dungeons here. Did CJ steal the key for the Pokey?
I was not paying attention. I was kind of watching chat and Namefaker here.
He has one and going to use that on Crystal Roller. There must be one a key in Crystal Roller or on Laser Bridge, which actually would be quicker than stealing the key.
Yeah. And that's also one of those kind of interesting calls that can happen in a piloted key sanity. Chat has our back. No, Jay did not steal that key. Which, well, we kind of figured out just by process of elimination, but
well, let's hope there's one on Laser Bridge.
all right. See what happens here.
Honestly, it's not uncommon to have a Turtle Rock key in Turtle Rock, so
Yeah.
yep, going down to Laser Bridge.
Mm-hmm. do have cape, so we should just be able to. Oh, and there's our half magic. Nice.
And nice to get that when magic was almost empty.
Yep.
And there's the fourth turtle rock key.
All right. So we are seeing a little bit of gap closing here from Namefaker here, because Namefaker is already almost to Crystal Roller. So yeah, Namefaker making up some ground here. We'll see if that continues. We got a 52-40 first hit on Trinex for SEJay. Gap about the same, I think. Yeah, looking at it, probably. I don't know why it felt like Namefaker was making up ground.
Yeah, some of these, obviously having to go back onto Laser Bridge and back, a little backtracking made Namefaker look like they were just a little bit closer than they were, but I mean, definitely keeping pace. Wouldn't say they're falling behind at all.
Yeah.
As we get our sixth crystal from a nice Trinex fight there. See if Namefaker can make up time on the boss fight.
Does get a nice cane strat there for the switch flipping we needed to do in that room.
Always feels nice to get that one.
Yep.
Going for the quick kill here on Trinex.
Looking decent-ish. About a minute 10 behind, I think. I wasn't quite paying attention to when the first hit was, because I was like, oh, they're doing the quick kill. Cool. Oh, and we have to go into Hera basement for something, excuse me?
No, I think he's setting up for Herapod here.
Oh, Herapod.
A little bit of trouble. He's tried to explain this one to me, and I don't understand this setup. But just like everybody has their own Herapod setup,
Yeah.
he gets his with no problem.
To answer a question in chat, yes, SEJay is being piloted by Irritable Penguin. who shows up in chat themselves to be like, yep, that hit me. Baker being piloted by FaZe.
And both runners remembering to mirror and give themselves plenty of space to not get mirror bonked before going into Tower of Hera.
And we're gonna kind of see a bit of a in spirit high five here, as SEJay gonna be leaving Hera at about the time Faker is entering it. Missed the hook speed. There we go. Second time's the charm.
And just a mad dash over to Moldorm here.
All right. Namefaker gonna be taking on Moldorm as Jay is entering Ganon's Tower. 55-50 looting in. Gold sword on torch, why not? I mean,
Oh, that's free.
Yeah.
And remembering to get the free key here as well.
Yep. I was about to say, you're already heading that direction simply to grab that one Ganon's Tower small you need. Might as well take a couple seconds and grab that gold sword while you're here. Now, that being said, that is a couple of seconds that Faker could gain, but the further up the tower Jay gets, the less that's going to matter.
Yeah, if they already have a Ganon's Tower key, I could see them skipping, but considering they have 0, they're going to go get that free key, and it's probably worth getting the 2 seconds to get that sword.
Yeah, like I said, like it's a small optimization, but at this point, I think you're kind of aware that unless something dramatic happens to your opponent, that couple seconds really isn't going to matter in the long run.
All right, CJ, going to the refill ferry here, or the health and safety room.
Yep. I
Do
always
you
call it
remember
the concessions. No, I don't call it that. What do I call it? Oh well, whatever. Anyway,
the
moving on.
concession stand?
Yeah, I don't actually call it that, but that was the word
I
that came
like
to
it.
mind.
Do you remember what color the potion was this in CJ's bottle?
Uh, no. I think they've used it already. Actually, it was a green potion. Is what they got out of Paradox.
Okay, so you're gonna have to be really careful here. Sorry to put the pressure on you, because I didn't remember it either. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
uh,
I, well, but like I said, I think they've already used it, and I haven't seen them go and get a refill. So they either
yeah,
have green or they have nothing.
and I believe Namefaker used their blue on that Mothula fight, so they have
Yes.
green or nothing as well. Neither runner getting anything from the potion shop before making that trip up the mountain.
Yeah. And in a mode like this, oh dear, oh dear. Um,
Got to be really careful here. They do have cape. Got to put that on. Yep. Okay.
heart drop. That would have been nice to have. Good game knowledge there for those 2 hearts under the pots, though, as well.
Yeah, that's really nice. I did not realize those 2 had hearts.
All right. Meanwhile, CJ into the torch puzzle here as Pixelgrinders and Namefaker cleaning. Oh, just barely missed the Landmo 2-0 cycle there. Cleans it up. Nice climb from both of our runners here.
And I did know there was a heart in that room, and
Yes.
so did Namefaker.
All right. He picked up for SEJay. Go ahead.
Yeah, just saying there was a key on that mini helmet. Not forgetting that.
Definitely using their game knowledge to the full advantage here, picking up any heart or piece or magic they can. Oldorm 2 decides to be docile for CJ.
Skipping the last check in the game as they tick over the 1-hour mark.
It is very much Jay's race to lose at this point, but you know, anything can happen in Link to the Past randomizer, including that for Faker. Oh, and Faker didn't actually pick up the key. Oops. Ugh.
And down to 2 hearts. I believe there's a heart in a pot here they could probably grab.
Not going to, though. Looks like they got a heart pickup from somewhere else, actually. And Moldorm 2 being even more docile for Faker there. Nice. CJ deciding to mess around with people who wanted to guess the bonk count by running into the wall repeatedly. Waiting for...
Okay, still have 1.5 hearts for Namefaker, and they do have that cape if they get into trouble in Aga 2, so hopefully they have that ready to equip. And we just need 6 slashes with that gold sword to get Ganon through each phase 1 and 2. Nice job dodging the blue balls there on Namefaker's side. And a nice triple to end Aga 2 fight.
Nicely done. But meanwhile, CJ all ready to phase 3 of the Ganon fight here. I mean, Still does have to watch out. A Ganon hug is going to be death. But
Yeah, with half magic and fire rod and lamp, just best to keep his distance here from Ganon. Nice dodge of that fire bat there. Uh-oh.
oh, didn't dodge that one though. Oh boy. I need to be real careful here. Never mind. That's going to be a double, and that's going to be GG, as long as SEJay can avoid the most dangerous 1x3 in all of Hyrule. Those GG's ready in chat.
Yeah, really nice late game there for SEJay as he walks across and gives Swordbeam Club the victory, bringing them up to 12 points in this season of the league.
Yep. And that is going to be an official first place time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 48 seconds. Get those GG's out in chat. As namefaker going to be finishing up the Ganon fight here, hopefully shortly. Oh, went for the triple, didn't quite get it, but
And finally getting that fourth arrow in, and they are going to cross the bridge momentarily with an official racetime.gg time of 1:03:39.
all right. So GG's to both runners, both teams. As Swordbeam Club gonna enter that melee for third place in the Eastern Palace division here. Right alongside Pixelgrinders.
Yeah, what a close race this was. It came down to just, what is that, 41 seconds, 51 seconds.
Yeah. And it could have swung either way. There was a few different swings and just slight missteps on both sides that led to a couple of momentum shifts during the course of the race. But yeah, a very well contested race on both sides as we are getting the teams in for interviews. I do actually see, oh, there's FaZe as well. So we will be getting them in shortly here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always nice to talk to them after. Of course, it's their prerogative to join, but it sounds like we will be bringing them in to get their thoughts on this seed.
And yes, as somebody in chat just realized, this was an open league race. So very high level of play, period. Much less for the open league here.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I expect these teams to make some noise in the last 3 weeks of the season here coming up.
Yeah. All right. We are being joined by SEJay and Irritable Penguin of Swordbeam Club and FaZe of Pixelgrinders. GG's to you all.
Thank you. That was fun.
That was a pretty madcap race to commentate.
Yeah, Penguin and I were talking about it right after. The only thing we felt bad about was the desert play before Eastern. Like, as soon as I found out that all the things I needed for desert had been in Eastern, I felt really bad. And I was like, well, we got to skip a lot of things later on, which is why we didn't grab, like, a bunch of safeties that we could have outside of Cape.
Yeah, I would say that was your one, call it a misstep. I mean, it's the beginning of the game. It's very hard to look at the whole overview of the entire seed from that spoiler log right at the beginning. So ultimately did not cost you that much. And then, did want to ask, both runners ended up beating Desert when they were there. Was that just because you were there? You didn't want to come back with better equipment later?
Give me time to get stuff done, so go kill the boss.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, it was more of a, we know we need to do this, so... And I knew my next sword wasn't until, like, Ice Palace. I knew we had to come back to Mire for Fire Rod, and I knew that was how we were getting into Ice Palace, so it was also going to be like, go to Mire for Fire Rod, then go back to Ice Palace, then come back to Desert, so it seemed like a lot of bouncing back and forth when he was explaining where the items were to me, so I just decided to beat it then, and just get it over with.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, pretty much the same for us too.
Anytime I can just throw him in a dungeon. Here, go beat this while I look at stuff. Cause
yeah, Vidi scared me a lot, and Ganon scared me a lot. when that eye touched me and Vidi, I just completely panicked.
Yeah,
Yep.
One extra heart came in handy.
Yeah, I knew I had 4 hearts going in, and I've died enough on that I knew that the eyes did 3 hearts of damage on blue mail. So I knew I had cape. I knew that if I needed to, I could cape and slash. I actually grabbed the cape before going to Mire, before Penguin told me silvers were in there, because I was planning on just doing the cape strategy to do all that. But yeah, definitely that scared me. And then when Ganon shot the bat right at my face, that scared me.
Cape is a nice safety to have in any situation, really. That fire bat was pretty scary too. So, FaZe, you guys actually were able to single dip the desert area. Unfortunately, had to go back for the Misery Mire Big Key before going in. So, did sort of a double dip there? Was that just sort of a miscommunication on your end about when to grab that Misery Mire Big Key?
Yeah, I forgot to look for it because I looked at all the crystal big keys and stuff, so I hadn't really the Pendant Mire Big Key on the radar. And then when I looked it up, it was just after he save and quitted after Catfish. And then we talked about it, that we have to grab it again before going to Mire, but then he forgot it to grab it, and he was inside Mire and had to mirror out again. So yeah.
So I see Vortex real quick in chat. Exactly what he said. The pod, we talked about getting an extra pod key, but I wanted the heart from right side pod.
Yeah, that was the option of, hey, you can go right side and get a heart, or you can go to Thieves Town first and get a key. Take your pick.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. But FaZe, I've been there before too, just seeing something right at the last second, just a second too late. So, it was a really close race, regardless of that. So
yeah, it was the closest race I've seen all week in the restreams.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was really nervous with how close you guys were behind me. I mean, I don't know really too much if it was a difficult seed to route. Again, the biggest goof we had was not going to Eastern first, and that was a little upsetting. But I mean, overall, the seed was, I feel like for the pilots, wasn't too bad. There wasn't like weird convoluted go to the mountain, then go back down, then go back up, then go back down, or any weird like bounce around stuff. So that was nice, at least.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the fun stress at the end there with, as they're leaving Skullwoods and we're going up the mountain, she's like, I have time to grab a potion, right? I was like, probably. She's like, never mind, just hit the mountain. And after he's like, do I have time to grab the blue potion? I'm like, not anymore.
Yeah, it was like one mountain climb.
Like, do not go grab that bottle.
Yeah, he told me you could grab a heart off Ether, and I was like, I'm not grabbing anything. Like, I got half magic in a cave. Here we go.
Fearful
he also forgot to use cape in the second room in GT, so he started the climb with 2 hearts. So props to him to print that
looked rough.
Yeah, there were definitely some times where where I was looking at the health totals and just going,
Yeah, I could just see plenty of points along the way where I would have died. So great job executing by both of our runners. SEJay, it sounds like you were keeping pretty close tabs on your opponent. Was Penguin just in your ear, or did you actually have their stream?
I was in the ear.
No, Penguin. I don't pull up. That's too much of a distraction for me while I'm running. Penguin was telling me. He was just kind of giving me, where we were. It was like when I was beating Moth, they were entering Skullwoods and things like that. So I knew that I was a little bit ahead at the end there. So we were trying to think, like, you know, was there anywhere I could get a Skullwood Small to get red mail? Was there any way to get, like, you know, should I flute and buy a blue potion? Like, trying to think, you know, can I take advantage of the small lead I do had? And we just figured that it wasn't worth it. Like, I mean, what did the race end up? It ended up, like, less than a minute apart, so
Yeah.
I'm happy that we didn't make any of those calls, especially because I've been having real hard time with AGA 2 recently, so I wanted to make sure that I had some comfort, some cushion there to, you know, 5 cycle AGA 2, because that's my new game plan apparently.
Yeah, sometimes AGA 2 just goes, yeah, no.
But yeah, we you know, there was another thing I was thinking, like, after we beat Meyer, should I have not grabbed the pendant? But then it refilled my health and my magic for ice, so, like, it was probably worth it. But there were some other little things that, like, if I could go back and nitpick about the seed and how I played, I would. But overall, I think that we routed it well after the Eastern Palace oops, and then seed was pretty much just kind of grab everything and then just do all the dungeons. It wasn't like a slow burn. It was definitely, here's where all your items are, now you're in go mode. Go have fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
One
those
other mistake that we did was when I looked at Thieves Town with the ice rod, I thought we can just steal the key and not need the key, but then I saw that we need the Attic 2, the Eastern Big Key. Oh, that was
Yeah. We were thinking that too. Penguin was telling me, go into Thieves Town, you can get these 2 items. And when we were talking, he said attic and big key chest. I said, well, then we need the small key because you can't get both. So luckily I was able to catch that before we went in there. But we almost did that same play where we were going to go into Thieves Town and without a small.
Yeah. But then you had to go to the other one later anyways, and
Yeah.
was no way to do it earlier.
Yeah, it was a very conscious decision to avoid Thieves Town until we could only do it once. Partially because we had to make up for the stupid desert decision.
But it was fun. I enjoyed racing it, and, you know, we had a rough week last week, so our division, I feel like our division is kind of crazy. Like, I look at the other divisions, and I see people who are, like, you know, clearly in the lead, and I feel like our division is just, like, there's, like, 4 teams that are gonna like, just be bouncing around for the top 2 spots the whole season. So, you know, we had a rough week last week, so, you know, happy to get a win again, but, you know, we play game number 2 tomorrow, and I think it's just flipped, right? It's Faker and FaZe against Penguin and Sean tomorrow, so that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, it certainly will. It looks like it's
just as close.
It's at 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow.
yeah, and I believe
Yep.
it is going to be restreamed. Sorry, what were you saying, FaZe?
Yeah, 11 ET. Also restreamed, yeah.
Well, I will
All
definitely
right.
be tuning in to watch that in about 15 minutes here on League 2 at 2:30 Eastern. We're going to have a restream as well between Volleyball Problem and Unsur. I can't say this name. I'm very sorry. Its racers are Vinter and Yak. And of course, there's one at 10 o'clock tonight on League Main. It's Always Sunny in Pendant Pod versus a Deadly Case of Explosions, and even 11:30 p.m. on League 2, Where Are the Instructions versus Team Asai. So be sure to check out all the league channels.
I will say some of those are dependent on signups, crew signups. Like, I know for a fact that one that's coming up next still needs some signups. So if you are listening to my voice and available and willing to do those roles, have those roles in the Discord, maybe take a look at the sign-up sheets. But that's enough backstage talk for the moment. As I'm going to do some backstage talk by thanking our tracker, Yoinku's wife, for doing an amazing job clicking the buttons. My co-commentator, sorry, my brain just broke there for a second. Dapper Wordman for joining me on co-coms. Artaro for running this particular restream. Thank you to the runners and the pilots for providing us with an amazing race to commentate. And thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good afternoon. Looks like we might actually be moving the next race over to League One here. So stay tuned for further details on that.